Welcome back, Fantasy Moto fans, to the PulpMX Fantasy Show. I'm Donnie from RotoMoto, and in this video, I have 5 riders I want you to look at when making your picks for Seattle 2022, tips for the FFL, the weather report, race day schedule, and an early look at what my team could be come Saturday night. And stick around to the end to find out how you could win an autographed jersey without even being good at the game, just like this Team Solitaire jersey fresh off the back of Robbie Wageman. Indy was treacherous and hard on the field, as we have multiple guys from the 450 class adding to the pile of riders already on the sidelines. Justin Brayton entered the concussion protocol last week after a practice crash in the whoops. He missed Indy and will miss Seattle as well. Moments later in the same section, Shane McElrath also went down and he will also miss the Seattle round. Dylan Ferrandis will take another round to recover, but word on the street is he will just rest until outdoors. 250s, we turn back to the west and have a few riders returning, most notably Joe Shimoda, who missed A3 after a foot injury. The 450 field thinning out has also led multiple 250 West guys to just stay in the depleted 450 field, so be sure to make the use of the little checkbox at the top of the rider list that says only show riders in AMA qualifying results to, you guessed it, only show riders that put down at least one lap time to get all of the riders into the right class. A few things to keep in mind for this round: the weather is questionable at best, so the chances of mud are high. But my suggestions will assume the track is at least raceable and not a complete dumpster fire. Also, this is an orphan West Coast round with a Triple Crown on deck. This means that when picking your 450s, it might be best to leave those super high handicap guys off so that you have them available next week when we will know for sure if they are in the main or not. But in the 250 class, you can choose whoever you like, and it won't lock you out of anyone in the little class next weekend. All right, in Seattle, I have 3 guys to target, 1 to avoid, and a high handicap guy for you gamblers out there, starting with the little class, working our way up. 250 All-Star, I don't think it's time to get cute. To protect against the weather, it's always a good idea to go with factory guys, and in this case, I like Hunter Lawrence. Hunter has finished on the podium in every single main event gate drop except the last one where he crashed out in the whoops. Believe it or not, the older Lawrence brother is the only guy on the gate this weekend to have both an indoor and outdoor win in the 250 class, and at a 3, he should excel in Seattle regardless if the weather gets in the way or not. A 250 guy that I don't like this weekend is Carson Brown. The AEO KTM rider was born and raised in the Pacific Northwest, and I think he's poised for a good day this weekend, but unfortunately his handicap is just terrible. A -2 means he needs to finish 8th just to break even, which he can do, but with the entire All-Star crop well rested after 5 weeks off, I just don't see him making up enough positions to score any real points at his home race. On to the 450 side, All-Star, I'm looking at Jason Anderson. The Monster Cowie rider is tied for 2nd in points and no doubt wants redemption after losing out on what could have been a win last week. His handicap sits at a 4, meaning all he needs is a top 5 to max out, and with the midfield gutted, he has a really high floor going into 12th man territory. For your double eligible 450 guy, I gotta go Chising. Back in the big class for the West Coast rounds, Kyle has a 5 handicap based on his results before the Star Racing ride, and that's because the midfield injuries have really piled up since. It is worth noting that Kyle did have a practice crash this week and admittedly is coming into the weekend bit banged up, but with the likes of Cade Clayson and Ryan Brees easily slotting into the top 10, it should be easy pickings for Kyle to chiz his way to similar results this weekend. The high handicap hero of the round given to a rider with a handicap of 10 or more that I think has a realistic chance to score massive points this weekend if you're the type of person that likes to sweat out a little LCQ for a big payout. Gotta go with 250 guy here to save those high handicap 450s for the Triple Crown next weekend. Let's talk Hunter Schlosser. The El Paso, Texas native might be out of his element in the great state of Washington, but that doesn't mean he doesn't know his way around some nasty rutted dirt. Last year, the privateer drove up to Washougal, putting in a 21-21 finish in the 450 class before following those results up with a 20th and 22nd overall in the final 2 rounds of the outdoor season. Sure, he earned national number 79 on the back of his Supercross results, but at a 13 handicap, he could be poised to be the top scorer in the 250 class this weekend. Moving on to the FFLs as we turn to the West Coast, it is a long start, and you have to like Christian Craig here. He has the most in the class thus far and is also on the most powerful bike on the line. 450 class saw another first timer, meaning we now have 9 different FFLs in 15 tries, so unless you are feeling exceptionally lucky, I would stay away here. But the last time we had a start straight this long was in Glendale, and Eli Tomac took 2 out of 3. Back to the super late schedule for a single round here in the middle of the season. Race Day Live kicks off at 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific. RotoMoto Patreon supporters are the first to receive the enhanced cheat sheets as I post those to our private Discord as soon as each class wraps, and then to the Patreon at wide around 8 p.m. Eastern. Standard cheat sheets follow about 30 minutes later, between 8:30 and 9. Then the picks lock and the gates drop at 10 p.m. Eastern on the USA Network and the Peacock app. After the race, feel free to join me back over on my own YouTube channel for the RotoMoto post-race program immediately following the 450 podium ceremony, where I talk directly with you and other Supercross fans live on camera about the racing, the drama, the fallout, and of course, the fantasy results as they become available. Before I show you my early team, I want to talk to you about Maxxis Tire coming on for all 17 rounds so I can deliver these videos for you. You know Maxxis Tire, you know the MXST tire designed by the king of Supercross and my all-time favorite rider, Jeremy McGrath. It is the newest and most advanced tire in the Maxxis MX lineup, featuring an all-new tread pattern, compound, and composition to provide the stability, predictability, and traction that the upper tiers of motocross demand. The entire SGB Honda team runs Maxxis on their race bikes, including PulpMX show favorites and on-again, off-again rivals Alex Ray and Cade Clayson. Available at your local retailer and also at motosport.com. My Thursday team looks like this. Give me Hunter Lawrence at a 3 for my 250 All-Star, RM Army's Carson Mumford with a 2, a little punk rock in the P and Dub with Ryan Surratt at a 7, and rounding out the small bore team is Hunter Schlosser's 13. 450 side, I have Jason Anderson with a 4, the Brick Brandon Hartraft with a 5 handicap, a whole lot of chiz covering the Northwest Coast with a 5, and rounding it out is PulpMX's Yamaha's favorite little troll, Alex Martin, with an 8. The prize for the highest score in Indianapolis will be an autographed Marvin Muskin jersey, but if you're not great at fantasy, that is okay. If you want a chance to win something like this autographed Team Solitaire Robbie Wageman jersey, consider joining RotoMoto on Patreon. For just about $1 per week, you support me immensely and help make it possible for me to make content like this, but you're also entered to win race shoes and autographed memorabilia from your favorite riders and fantasy darlings every month just for signing up. And sign up for the Insider tier for an additional entry into the giveaway, and not just one. Insiders and above are getting their own drawing for a jersey. That's right, 2 jerseys this month, as well as an exclusive podcast talking fantasy stats on every rider in the field, as well as the enhanced cheat sheets that come out every Saturday. Link for that will be in the description below. And finally, don't forget to follow PulpMX Fantasy and RotoXMoto on both Instagram and Twitter for injury updates as the weekend rolls on, qualifying info, the weather report, and stats and banner throughout the race itself, and those fantasy cheat sheets once qualifying is done and wrapped. Thanks for watching the PulpMX Fantasy Show, presented by Maxxis. My name is Donnie. May your chiz this weekend. Remember that 8 is great. And most importantly, have fun. Good luck, y'all.